The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'll be your webinar facilitator today. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us for the Your Best Billboard is the third-party endorsement. Learn creative strategies to maximize your review acquisition and visibility webinar. As a brief reminder, all lines are currently on mute to prevent background noise. If you have questions during the presentation, go ahead and type them into your chat box. We'll be happy to answer at the end of the webinar. This afternoon, it's my pleasure to welcome back Jennifer Bagley, CEO of CI Web Group. As you know, CI Web is one of our preferred vendors out there helping dealers be more successful out in their own business. So Jennifer, you may now begin the webinar.
Thank you, Ms. Catherine. I appreciate the introduction. And as always, I appreciate everybody that's taken time out of their business to work on it instead of in it. You guys, so depending on when you're watching this video, right now you're watching it live. So we are in end of first quarter 2018. And this is an interesting time. So today we're going to specifically talk about reviews and the impact on your business. However, I'm going to also start leading into why this is so critical and why it's so important that over the next few months that you don't miss any webinars. We're in an interesting time with consumers and search engines and content management systems and digital marketing agencies are making a huge change to react to technology advancements and consumer buying habits and search engine requirements, and they are big, really big. So I highly recommend that you don't miss any of these sessions, even if you watch the recorded ones afterwards. Register, make sure your team and the right people watch them, because we're going to be covering some of the biggest and most critical developments and changes within the digital marketing environment in history. So that being said, today we're talking about Billboard. What works best to market a business, and essentially it bottoms down like this. It's a third-party endorsement. It's not testimonials that you plaster on the front page of your website and people don't know whether they're real or not. It's real, true, authentic reviews. Thanks to Amazon and others, reviews are essentially the epitome of what makes them decide if they want to move on. This is also known as ORM, or online reputation management. Most small businesses tend to leave ORM, or online reputation management, to chance. From my mindset, from my world, ORM needs to be a progressive strategy, a lifestyle, online reputation management, and it needs to be coupled with a search engine optimization strategy, because I want small business owners to be able to accomplish the goals that they originally set out to do when you decided to become an entrepreneur. At some point, you had a conversation with your spouse and said, you know what? Let's open a new business. Why? Because I want more money, more time, more freedom, and opening a new business, becoming an entrepreneur, being my own boss, that's going to get it for us. And then all of a sudden, reality sets in. We don't always feel like we have those very things that we sought out to get. And that is typically because we're not doing the right things in the right order at the right time, or because we're not leveraging our time on high leveraged activities. I also call them HLAs, high leveraged activities. It's also when we're kind of putting around and doing tidbits of the things we think we should be doing, but in reality, if we could only get somebody to get us to do what we already know we should be, we'd probably think they were a genius. So we know that we're supposed to focus on our online reputation. We know we're supposed to be an option when and where consumers are searching, also known as search engine optimization. However, we listen to salespeople present their wares and tears. Next thing you know, we're buying some new system. We're not sure quite how it integrates with everything, but it was a great presentation, so on we go. Just testing and testing and testing. So in this session, my hope is that you understand the relationship between reviews, online reputation management, or ORM, search engine optimization, and getting more cash in that bank. doing an activity that doesn't ultimately result in a new client doesn't make a lot of sense. Sometimes there are accessorial things or predecessors or things that have to be part of an equation to be able to generate a new lead or opportunity or create new income, or to make our operations more efficient so that we have higher profits, even though we may not have more clients. Any of those are okay for a business owner as far as accomplishing their original goals. Anything outside of those things is a time sucker. So that being said, online reputation management, reviews acquisition, and remarketing tied with search engine optimization, which is rank and placement. Are you an option for what consumers are searching for, where they're looking for it, equals new business. And that's really where we're concentrating today. The process of consumers finding what they need, it's very simple. And as a speaker, I love it because I do stand in front of hundreds of thousands of different people from all around the nation. Right now I'm sitting in North Carolina. Yesterday we were in Nashville, Tennessee. The week before that we were in Houston, Texas. The week before that we were in Dallas, Texas. The week before that we were in Baltimore. We've been all over the nation. This is what I do for about 9 months a year. As I speak at different meetings, different conferences, different consumer focus groups, and identify trends as far as how consumers search. And it boils down to this. If they need something, they go online, they do a search. In their words, they say, I Google it. They find the websites on the first page of Google, typically below the maps, sometimes in the maps, very infrequently, the advertisements at the top. If the website checks out, looks good, they can tell who they are, what they do, where they do it, how to reach them, and what other people think about them. They will go then do more research and they will check out the company's reviews. When they first start off, they're a suspect. They are not convinced. A, they didn't want to spend the money on anything related to heating or air conditioning services. They'd prefer to go to Hawaii. B, they're at a position in their world where they don't have a lot of time to spend on this. So anything that's inconvenient, requires too many steps, it's going to cause problems. They're not going to move forward. They have other options. And C, if other people don't love you, why should they? So they start off as a suspect. If you're an option where they're searching, when they're searching for what they need at that moment, they may become a prospect if your reviews look good, if it looks like other people love you. So the predecessor is you got to be an option. That's first. And once you're an option, what do you look like when they get there? That's your website and that's your reviews. Sometimes you got to be an option means you got to have a great enough reputation to generate referrals. In our world, that's huge, 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 huge. We don't have to go hunting for clients because A, they can find us easily online for specific search terms that we've identified we want to go after, and B, because we have a huge network of happy clients that refer us business on a regular basis, that it makes it easy. Those two things have taken years and years and years, almost a decade to create, but it's been through intentional and deliberate efforts. Now, when somebody is searching online, the way they're searching is different. You'll notice this guy's behind a computer, this one's in the car at a stoplight. Hopefully they're not driving, and they are doing a quick search. This one's sitting, you can guess, thinking about, oh, I forgot this is on my list. I got to get this done. I got to call the HVAC guy. I got to get my air conditioning fixed. I got to get a tune-up before the AC season. It's getting hot. It's cold. There's crazy winter storms. There's tornadoes in North Carolina. I got to get this stuff done. Depending on how many positions, how many places, all of the different areas that you rank where you're an option, you'll have this group of suspects sitting at the top, and we got to funnel them down. We got to get them to turn into a customer. We have to get them to turn into a customer. Some of them are on their social media apps. Some of them are on Google doing a search. Some of them are talking to an AI device saying, Google, What's the best heating and air conditioning company in such and such? What's a great air conditioning repair company with the best reviews in the city? Some of them are talking to Alexa. Some of them are talking to their watch, their wrist, Siri. Everybody is searching differently. But what we do know is they're searching. And what we also know is they want to work with someone that other people consider reputable. It's not just what you say about yourself, it's what other people say. So I don't want anybody to underestimate the importance of online reviews. The truth is, they can either mean the difference between success and failure, between staying right where you already are, or moving forward, or even moving backwards. An overwhelming percent of consumers read online reviews for local businesses. It's one of the least expensive ways for you to be able to truly maximize all of your other marketing efforts. If you think about it, so if you've heard the 12-step roadmap, it's about doing the right things in the right order at the right time. Reviews are essential to making all of your other investments work for you. If you have a beautiful website, horrible reviews, what do? Move on. If you got a great pay-per-click plan and you got leads coming in and they go look at your reviews, what do, Don? Keep searching. If you're on page 1 of Google for 1,000 key phrases and the reviews are not there or don't look good, what are they doing to keep looking? So knowing how to keep your existing customers satisfied and how to get them to give you that digital evaluation is critical. This is going to help you maximize your reviews acquisition, visibility. It's going to help you improve your rankings. Consumers aren't the only I want to say person, but not the only thing that wants to know, do other people trust you? Search engine optimization is identical. People, real people, and search engines, i.e. Google, want the same exact thing, and they measure you on the same thing. Are you relative? Do you have what I need, where I need it? Are you current? The frequency of new content, current in technology, current in products and services. And the third piece is, are you trusted? Do other people like you? In a search engine optimization environment, it's known as a backlink or off-page SEO. That's essentially what they call it. All it means is, do other websites like you, and are they credible? With the consumers, they want to know the same thing. That being said, I pulled this up. This is from someone else's presentation. It was on the SEO Moz. And this is from 2012. 2012, these are the numbers. 89% consumers say they find reviews online to be trustworthy. 64% are searching reviews before making an online purchase. 85% are more likely to find products when they can find recommendations online. 2012, this has not done anything except continue to become more and more embedded in how people search, and it's processed in their subconscious. They're not even thinking about it. It's not in the forefront. They operate, they just function because it's a subconscious decision to go check out reviews. There is not an audience in the entire United States and abroad that I've spoke at where 99.9% of the audience did not say that they go check out reviews before they make a decision to call. Every audience, it is one person in the room that says, I don't look at reviews. One. Now, you can look at videos from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and it wasn't those numbers. I had 6, I had 7 out of a room full of 100, but not this year. It's different. Pulled up another stat I wanted to get an idea, and I've been looking at all the stats. I tell everyone, and you've probably, if you've heard me speak live, I say it all the time, I would literally rather listen to a group of soccer moms than all the stats and percentages and everything else. As a speaker, I like listening to what real people say. I like knowing what real people say. I would rather do consumer focus groups across the entire United States, Canada, and abroad to determine how real people think. I'd rather listen to a group of soccer moms than all these stats and figures. Every single percentage is different depending on what website you look at. So I think anybody can manipulate the information. Do I know that it's high as far as the number of consumers that trust reviews online as much as they trust a recommendation of family? The reality is, in my audiences, they are more likely to trust the reviews online than a referral from a family member. In fact, when they get a referral from a family member, and I ask this question in every single class, every session, every event, if you got a referral from your mother, your brother, your sister, your best friend, a friend in the industry, what would you do? It is 9 out of 10 or more that continually says, I will still go check out the website and look at reviews. So business by referral, it's never going to go away. It does, however, evolve. It has changed. So if you say I do business by referral, that's great. We always will. But the way referrals are taking place are different. You have social media now playing a huge role in it, these review sites. So it's just evolving. Why is this mission critical? So we have all of the soft kind of nuances that I've covered, how people think, how they act, but we also have some technical requirements that are making it critical. The first one being Google's mobile first initiative. I'm not going to dive too far into this because I am going to hold a session. It's going to be in May. That is a major announcement. All companies are invited to attend. So you guys will get that announcement soon. Don't miss that session. The mobile first initiative is a major, major search engine algorithm update. It is changing everything from the framework of way websites are built to how content is optimized, to the content requirements, to the coding requirements, coding standards, to content management systems like WordPress's entire framework. It's changing everything. If you thought mobile responsive was big, this is bigger. When Mobilegeddon came out and mobile responsive requirements became mandatory, everybody got a letter. It said your website has to become mobile responsive, and every one of you had to buy a new website. You couldn't have a website built in Tables or on Wix or GoDaddy or any of that garbage. You had to have a mobile responsive website. That is not what this is. This is bigger. Not only are you going to have to reinvent the framework of your website, the design of your website is going to have to change. The content, the order of the content is going to have to change. The coding structure is going to have to change. Your content management system is going to have to be upgraded. Your theme is going to have to be upgraded. And on top of that, content optimization. The metadata is actually going to have to change. Why? Same reason this is important, because consumers are searching different. Consumers are the leaders of the pack. It's not search engines. Don't be upset with search engines saying, they're making another requirements change. You have two drivers of all search engine requirements. Number one is how consumers function in search. Number two is how hackers are able to manipulate the system. Those are the two drivers. So Google's always going to be modifying the way that it functions in order to adapt to how consumers search and prevent hackers from being able to manipulate things online. It's that simple. So consumers is the second reason why this is so mission critical. The third reason, if you don't make the changes, if you don't jump on board, consumers are going to keep searching, or they're going to have different options. I'm excited about these changes because this is when every small business has an opportunity to take advantage and jump in front of, take over, where maybe a company who's been around a lot longer, who has a bigger brand, or who's doing 20 million in sales instead of your 1 million in sales and so forth. This is the opportunity when you can jump in and say, you know what, this is my game, I'm taking over this. Now, that being said, these are the three primary fundamental drivers of why reviews have to be mission critical. Google mobile first and algorithm updates search engine requirement updates under the Google Mobile First Initiative. That's how consumers are searching. And if you don't, they're going to have other options. Third-party endorsements, also known as reviews, also known as ORM, Online Reputation Management. This is the why. Google rules, literally. Google rules and has rules that are changing, and this is just, it is what it is. The percent of people who read reviews, it's a lot. I don't know what the percentage is. I have no idea, because every stat you listen to is different. I just know what my audiences say, and it's 99% of the room in every speaking event. Percent of people with smartphones, just go to a ball game, restaurant, movie theater, watch everybody turn off their phones. That one's, you can guess the number. Consumers make decisions before you get an opportunity to sell. Consumers are making their buying decisions before you have an opportunity to sell. So this isn't about, well, if you just get me in front of the table, I can convince them. They're making the decision way before that. Why? Because they have a lot of options and they believe what other people say. So, review acquisition. I think I've covered why it's important. You can tell I'm a little bit passionate about it, so please forgive me. It's a really big deal. So there are different kind of review acquisition strategies. Now I'm going to get technical because there's no other way to. When you are deciding what you're going to focus on, when it comes to review acquisition strategies, they are not all the same. They're not equal. They're not equal in priority. They're not equal in weight. They're not equal in results. Okay? They're also all important. So that doesn't make it any easier. But knowing the difference is going to help you when you're talking to a salesperson and they're trying to pitch you on something. It's just think about these things. It's also going to help if you get an evaluation, digital evaluation, to see where are you at. You know, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? And what are you working with? Those are the three things in every strategy session. I tell everybody to start with, where are you at? We got to see where you're at. Where do you want to go? What does that look like in your world? And what are you working with? What kind of assets do you have? Then it's going to allow somebody with that information to prioritize each of these different strategies and say, okay, this one first. If you've got unlimited cash, do them all. We all should do that. But if you don't, if you're like the majority of business owners and entrepreneurs, we have to prioritize. And so hopefully this helps. So first, not in order by importance, there are third-party local listing sites, third-party listings, third-party review sites. So if you're getting reviews on eBiz, Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, City Search, and so forth, those are local directories, Better Business Bureau, Home Advisor, and so forth. Those are all local directories, local listing engines, social media sites, blogs, forums, and so forth, where you're getting reviews on someone else's website and you're subject to their requirements, their guidelines, and what they want to publish and they don't want to publish. So there's a lot of risk in getting reviews on third-party sites. You don't have very much control. That is typically where the majority of your grumpy customers are going to go on their own. And if you don't have a proactive strategy, you're going to wind up playing defense. You're going to be trying to recover, because obviously people who are grumpy are more likely to go leave a review. Happy people don't go leave reviews because it's not a normal process for them, unless they're getting free products on Amazon for it. So the second review acquisition strategy is Google Business Listings, Google Maps, Google My Services. This, I said earlier in the slide before, Google rules. Google rules. So you cannot avoid this. You cannot. It can independently generate new business for you. It's what shows up on the map, and there's only 3 featured options for every city and search term combination. This can drive new sales independently of everything else. You have to have a physical location. It's free to set up. There's a whole bunch of details behind this. This is hands down a priority. This is like telling my kids to clean their rooms. You got to do it. You just got to do it. Okay. Next is owned assets reviews. This is your website, the things you physically own. You're not going to change the requirements on your own website. You're going to make your website match somebody else's requirements, but ultimately you get to choose what to display. You get to choose what to display. You get to choose how to display it. What you'll notice on here, these are SERP results, search engine rankings and placement, okay? The search engine results page is actually showcasing the reviews on their own asset, their website. In a search results environment, if your website itself has these stars, nice and pretty, gold, standing out with the number of reviews on each individual page by service, you're going to be in a position to convert the majority of the business if you're sitting on page number 1. So by acquiring a review, having it processed through something called schema on your website or nearby now, I'll get to those, but having it processed on your website, optimizing that page and showcasing that page on a position 1 rank, page 1 rank with your reviews, now you're taking reputation management, tying it into reviews acquisition, re-showcasing or remarketing it on your website, optimizing it for search engine results. Now you're an option where people are looking for what they're looking for, and you're endorsed by somebody else. Boom, you're going to convert more leads than anyone else on that page. Okay, so in going back, so I said first, third-party local listing systems. So there is a difference. You guys are getting called on by third-party review systems, which in my world, it's a second priority to some of these other things. This is a second priority. I'm going to cover it first because I want to spend most of my time on the first priority items. Signpost, Acquirely, Review Buzz. My gosh, there's so many. All of these systems that will contact you and say, we have a system that can help you generate lots of reviews, increase customer engagement, referrals, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Those systems don't all function the same. So they will help you acquire reviews. Sometimes they'll do a lot of the work for you, a lot of the heavy lifting. They'll send out emails after you do service. Sometimes they'll even send handwritten notes and gift baskets and all these things, and they will help you acquire reviews. However, those reviews are showcased on a third-party website you don't own. You cannot manage the algorithm changes to it, and they're showcased on their review website, and you can only embed them on your own site with an embed code, which is invisible to Google. So those will not independently help you go acquire a new client. They'll help you convert somebody you send out there to look for your company brand online because those reviews are showcased out there, but they're not going to help you actually find a new customer. So are these important? Yes, I'm not downplaying that they're important. They are important, but not a priority compared to the other things I'm going to show you. They are primarily focused on generating reviews on third-party review sites, which is everything in here. Products, people, places, directories, location, search engines, and so forth. So, yes, important, just not quite priority. Okay, direct website and SEO reviews. This is your #1 series of priorities. Increasing the power and leverage of your reviews to generate new business. Most important out of everything. #1, and it ties right in. Everything I'm telling you from this point forward is going to tie into the new search engine requirements, which all of your marketing companies should be talking